Hey everybody, Elle here, and we are here to read another missing person case because that's what we like to do on this channel. Unfortunately, the situation of missing women seems to repeat itself again and again and again with very similar circumstances, which this person we're going to read about today has as well. So we're reading about Madeline Kingsbury. They call her Maddie, and she disappeared from Winona, Minnesota on March 31st. Mother of two. She has a young son and a daughter. I believe they are 5 and 2. Yeah, 5-year-old daughter, 2-year-old son. And as the case may be with some of the other people we've read about, Maddie, she had a boyfriend who was the father of these children who she was breaking up with. And they were not together at that time. They were still living together, is my understanding. They took the kids to daycare together that morning, which I've heard is not terribly unusual. Got the magician here, which tells us she's hidden. And so that was 8 a.m. on the morning of March 31st. Dropped the kids off at daycare. Supposedly, the boyfriend, Adam Fravel, says that they went back home. He left around 10:30 to run some errands in her minivan. And when he got back, she was gone. All of her stuff was still at the house. Cell phone, financial stuff, her purse, whatever. Nothing was missing. It sounds very similar to, what was her name? Miliate. Yeah, Larry was the husband. Maya was the wife. Very similar circumstances. Husband says he has nothing to do with her disappearance. I guess someone could have broke into the house and taken her. Stranger things have happened. So we're going to see what the cards say, read tarot on it, see what we get. One thing I will point out, the husband does not have custody of the children, and that is because the father was denied custody of the children because of exposure of the children to criminal activity. I don't have the details on that. It's kind of odd. But he was trying to keep the kids, and the state now has them and took them away. And I guess that was a shadoo in and of itself, where he was trying to hide the children in the house and not let the social worker take them, and the police had to come, and it was a mess. So we're just going to ask, there's basically 4 things that can happen when a person disappears, right? There was foul play, there was a suicide, the person left on their own, or there was an accident. So we're going to ask about all of those. We're going to ask what happened, who else was involved, where she could be found. Are they searching the right area? Because the police have marked off certain areas that they think that may be where she is. According to my understanding is the route the boyfriend took that day after he left, where his minivan was seen. No one's saying the boyfriend's a suspect. The police have not called him that. We're going to ask if she'll be found as well. So let us go ahead and start with foul play and see what we get for this one. She was, I believe, 26 years old. Yeah, she was young. And she worked at the Mayo Clinic. She was working on her master's degree. Just another sad, sad situation. You hope for a good outcome. In these situations, we haven't seen many good outcomes, unfortunately. But let's ask about foul play here with Maddie Kingsbury. Foul play with Maddie Kingsbury. Tell us about foul play and Maddie Kingsbury. And we'll see what the cards say about this. All right, foul play, Maddie Kingsbury. Well, it's these two. This is a card about often things being hidden underneath, being buried, things being piled up on top of things. We got this card with Quentin. Remember Quentin? They put him in a trash dump. It was terrible. And we knew he was under things because of this card. I'm getting this card again. I hate to say it. I hope, you know, I'm not saying it's a trash dump, but it looks like things on top of things. That's often the case with that, like underneath, down, under something. And then we have the Two of Swords, which is a decision made without all the facts, obviously, blindly. The moon's there, which is our anxiety, uncertainty card. Honestly, when I really feel into this card, I feel more it's like her decision. And I feel like when I say that, it's the decision that she was going to leave. But boy, she didn't really realize all the things that could happen to her in that situation. Yeah, she was sort of blinded to the reality of what could happen if she was going to leave. Instead of getting with that, she just didn't like see things coming because of her decision. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so foul play told me a story about what happened, more so. We'll read the other ones and see what we get. Suicide, I really don't think this is it, but let's go with suicide and just see what the cards say. I honestly am leaning more towards foul play, especially with this guy kind of there, having buried something. The truth. Read the truth. Foul play. Okay, foul play. What do we get here? This doesn't look like a foul play card at all. This person's working hard, and she was raising kids. She was working. She also was working on a master's degree. I mean, can you be any more busier? This person was super busy. So I'm sorry, suicide, no suicide here. I think I may have said foul play again, but this was the suicide card and definitely not a suicide here at all. All right. Did she leave on her own? I can already tell you no, she didn't. Leave on her own. Maddie Kingsbury, did she leave on her own? She didn't. Because we see her working hard. Did she leave on her own? She wouldn't have left under those circumstances. This is the 10 of Pentacles, and that is a card of, you know, building up your wealth, working hard so that you have enough to give to other people. It's definitely not a suicide card. Again, we saw the working in the 8 of Pentacles too. She was a really hard worker. The Page of Cups is that card of things being whimsical and looking one way, and somebody, I always think of the Page of Cups as an actor. If you look, he looks like he's on stage. He's dressed like like he's in a play. He's doing something whimsical and silly, talking to a fish. Again, it just tells me there may be a man acting. Yeah, I know where I'm going with this, where the cards are pointing me. Okay, I think the story is here. Accident. Let's see if she just by chance, I don't know, accidentally fell somewhere and hasn't been found. I mean, those things have happened to people before as well. Let's see if Maddie Kingsbury, was this an accident, her passing? I love tarot. I do. This is why I read tarot right here. This is the wedding card. This is a partnership card. This is two people. This is the classic Four of Wands, the classic wedding card. So what does that tell me? Look, I don't like to point fingers at anybody. I don't. I try really hard in these readings not to. I'm going to tell you what tarot is saying, right? Okay? We talked about foul play, and we've got this guy that's hidden something over here. We've got because of this lady's decision, right? She made a decision. She was kind of blinded to what the consequences of that decision could be. This lady's got blindfold on, you see? You see why I'm reading it? These are swords. These are thoughts, right? She didn't know what she was thinking, what that could lead to. The moon over there, anxiety, the water's getting all kind of worked up back here, getting a little dangerous looking. Okay, that was our foul play card. We know it wasn't a suicide because we saw her working too hard for that. When I asked about did she leave? We've got, no way. You know, she's working hard for her family over there. But we also have this guy over here pretending. And then when I ask, was it an accident? Tarot bumps me back to, hey, two people that were in a partnership together, in a relationship. Go look at the guy who's pretending. That's what Tarot's saying. It is what it is, guys. I'm trying not to point fingers, but I'm just telling you what Tarot's saying. We're going to ask who else was involved. Okay. Who else was involved? Tell us about who else was involved in the disappearance of Madeline Kingsbury. Maddie, who else was involved? Who else was involved? And we kind of have seen a young man all throughout here. Who else was involved in the disappearance of Madeline Kingsbury? It looks like it was foul play from what the cards say. All right, here we go. Oh, the cards are so good, guys. Seriously, this is why I read tarot. This guy, okay, the younger guy, and he's holding on to all of his money because he does not want to lose any of it. He doesn't want to lose what he has, this guy. Could translate that. Pentacles can also stand for a body even, meaning a kid. The things he has, he did not want to lose, obviously. And you know what? She was over there making that decision, and he was going to lose some things, and we know that. And what was he really, really worried about losing? The children. Okay? Right there. The son, and he's also got a daughter. This guy did not want to lose his kids. He didn't want to lose his money. He didn't want to have to pay the child support to somebody else. He didn't want to be in that situation when you are responsible for your kids, but they're not with you. That's what the cards say. Yeah. All right, let's read what happened. I mean, honestly, I try to be so careful in my readings, but in this one I would say, and I think they are looking at the father. That's where Tarot's pointing. Okay, what happened? Let's see what happened with Maddie. What caused her disappearance? What happened to Maddie? I'm almost afraid to read this, but what happened? Let's see. What happened here? What happened to Maddie? All right, so, yeah, okay. This is a woman, Queen of Cups, her feelings, her emotions, her children. You see there's kids all over this card, if you can see it. You see the babies above her, babies around her. Maddie's feelings were elsewhere. They were no longer with him. They were with her children. But her feelings, it almost feels like she was talking to somebody else online, to be honest with you. She definitely was moving on with her life. That's the feeling I'm getting. In the category of relationship, her feelings were with her children, and they look like they are being really, really focused elsewhere, no longer on him. And then when we asked what happened, well, we've got this guy driving a vehicle, right? The chariot, and we know that this guy admits to driving her car around 10:30 that morning. And so this is a card that would represent a person being moved. A person being moved. Yeah. I'm going to ask a little bit more about what happened. So we've got a person having emotions that were focused elsewhere, no longer on this man. And we've got a person, the man taking the car and driving it away. Tell us a little bit more about what happened to Maddie. All right, tell us about what happened to Maddie. Tell us more about what happened to Maddie. That one. No, I think it's both of these. Okay, so this is refusing. This is somebody who will not accept your emotions anymore. This person has cut this guy off. She has. She's gone in a different direction now. And I think he kept trying to possibly make up with her, and it wasn't working. And then we have this person who is bound, blindfolded, and surrounded by swords, which is never a good situation for a woman to be in, eh? I don't know if I need to describe it much more than that. This is the 8 of Swords. It's an extremely anxious card. I don't like the bound up stuff. Doesn't look good there. Doesn't look good. It looks, you know, kind of being exiled, take away from the home is what's coming to me, because the home's back here, and then kind of being put out, exiled is the wording that's coming to me. Put away, like your power stripped from you. All right, I'm not going to read any more deeper on that because I think it's not a good situation from what I'm seeing. Where can she be found? Let's just ask about that. Now this card is going to, we'll ask about where she can be found, and then landmarks, because the landmarks don't mean anything to me. I don't know that area. But we're going to read about where can she be found. We're going to read if they're looking in the right place. Where can she be found? So, where can Maddie Kingsbury be found? It's definitely this one. Well, that's the moon. The moon can often represent water, right? Because this is a water card here. It's domesticated versus the wild side of people, and sometimes the instinctual urges getting the best of somebody and causing problems. I think of the moon very much similar to a card like this. We saw the moon up in her decision that she made, and it resulted in this kind of situation. It's possible that she may be around water. We're going to ask that next, being that we're getting pointed in that direction as a where can she be found. So let me ask about water. Tell me about earth, water, that sort of thing, of where she can be found. Tell me, is Maddie in water, or is she elsewhere? I hate to say those things, but let's just say in or around water, because the moon card is often a water card. Okay, tell us about in or around water for Maddie. This is the 6 of Pentacles, so that is somebody that's giving things to somebody else, and the Justice card is there, and there's a ticket there, and that tells me travel again. That doesn't necessarily say water. Why did I get this card, the 6 of Pentacles? I'm going to ask for clarification on that card, because we did get the moon, which made me think water. Now we have the 6 of Pentacles as where she can be found. 6 of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. I got the Ace of Wands, which made me feel like woods. Pentacles is land and 6 of Wands is woods, but you do see a little water in here too. Huh. Those are hinting more land, but then again, this card can definitely stand for a male being behind the situation as well, which we have felt that he was. So, but it's not necessarily pointing to water. I'm going to ask for a closest known landmark. Closest known landmark. Closest known landmark. All right, so I got to, you know, here we have the 10 of Swords, which is a card that I have gotten this card multiple times for people when they have been found in or around water. Brandon Santo is one that I could think of. The guy who got out of his car and walked through woods and was found, I think, in a river or by the edge of a river. He had gotten in a car crash on the freeway. I don't know if I ever posted that one because I think by the time I posted it, he had been found. I got this for him too. So right away, I'm thinking of things like that. Land close to water or water. We did get the moon card. So we had kind of the card that makes me think of woods. And honestly, I still don't know what to make of the Six of Pentacles being in there. Maybe that'll make sense to me eventually. This is the Three of Cups, and this was another card, and that just says yes to me. That's a verification of that 10 of Swords. This is my yes card. So I would say yes, she's in or around water. I think she's near water, but woods may be a factor as well because we have this Ace of Wands, and then we have this Six of Wands, which makes me think travel because there's the ticket in the pocket, but I feel like there's something more to that card as well. Maybe it'll come to me. All right, let's ask if they're searching the right area because they are searching a lot of woods, is my understanding. So are the current searches in the right area? Is that where she can be found? Is the current area where Maddie can be found that they're searching? I do feel like, yeah, it looks like it because, and I see that because this is like a partner. Again, we have the whole partner theme throughout here. This is a cooperative card, things looking good in the Two of Cups. Looks real positive. And then we have this Queen of Swords again, which is making me think of that Queen of Cups. I feel like, yes, keep searching in that area. I do feel like it'll lead to her being found, the partner potentially having been the one that maybe left her there. I hate to say it. That's what it looks like to me. All right. Let's ask if she'll be found. Let's ask if Maddie Kingsbury will be found. Will she be found? Again, we have the whole, this is the Eight of Cups, the whole close to water situation here. I think we even got this card, if I remember right, with Nicola Bowley, and she was kind of on the side close to the water in the reeds. Getting a feeling like that. In water or close to water. We've got the moon here again. A lot of trepidation, a lot of anxiety, a lot of things being hidden potentially, things not going well. Because she didn't want anything more to do with him and because he didn't want to, he was being greedy. He didn't want to have the kids go. And that's why he was so angry when the social services came to get the kids, because they took them anyway. I'm going to ask about him. I'm just going to get a card that represents him in this situation. Tell me about Adam Fravel in this situation, because we sure do have a lot of cards that seem to be pointing towards a man. No, I guess it could be not Adam Fravel. It could be another man, right? But tell me about him. Tell me about Adam in this situation. We've got two cards here. I think he's very money focused. That's what we see with the Page of Pentacles. And we saw that over here with that Four of Pentacles as well. This had a lot to do for him about money. He didn't want to lose money. And we have our couple trouble card here. So, you know, going through a hard time and super money focused. If you need a motive, that seems to be what was going on there. Woe's me on his part. Yeah, not handling that breakup well. Huh. Okay, well, I feel like they need to keep looking in the area where they are. That seems to be where she is, according to the cards. If there's water in that area, go look by the water in that area, because that seems to be more the push that I'm getting for this. I'm just going to ask anything else we need to know or advice. Anything else we need to know about this? Then I'll ask about advice. Anything else we need to know? Yeah, King of Cups. I think there was potentially another person in her life. I think that might have set him off too, the Adam guy. And let me see if there's advice. Advice. We got 2 cards for advice. Yikes. I don't know that I could have gotten cards, honestly, that pointed towards Adam more than these 2. This whole reading has. I don't usually point fingers at people. I try to be super careful about them. But this is a person sneaking something away from the home. And now we have the Lover's card. You know, in this case, the ex-lover. But you look at all those swords that guy's got. It's not looking good. He leaves 2 behind, which are the kids, obviously, standing. But the rest he takes with him, and he's going to do something nefarious, it looks like. And then you have the past love here and the situation that did not work out well. And this is where it looks like it ended. I definitely look at Adam. I definitely look in the woods where they are looking, continue to look in that area, and I definitely focus my search right around water in those woods, because that's where the cards are telling me to go. So I will leave it at that. I hope they find her. Did we get Will She Be Found? We just got back into the woods here. Let me ask again about her being found. I don't feel like we got a good answer for that. I just told us to go look at the woods by the water. Tell us about her being found. Maddie Kingsbury being found. Oh, that's a good card. That's a victory card. That says yes, she will be. So they just need to keep up this search. I don't think it's going to turn out the way everybody was hoping. But I think there's definitely enough information that's coming out here, and obviously the police will have all this eventually, that the person who did this will go to jail for a long time, hopefully. I think so. All right, that's my reading on Maddie Kingsbury. I wish it was more positive, but it's not. The good news is she will be found, and it looks like there's loads of evidence against the ex-boyfriend. Yeah, loads of evidence. So I don't think he's going to get away with it. Okay, so maybe that's what this card is here for. Justice. I kept going back to, why is this card here? And it was bothering me. But this does hold the scales of justice. These are 2 down here and 1 above. I'm going to take that as father and kids. You know, I do believe that there will be justice in this case. I do. And ultimately, the kids growing up with somebody else. Obviously, their mother would have been the best case scenario, but not him. And he's not getting them. So, that's a real good thing there, too. Okay, well, that's Maddie Kingsbury. I wish I had better news, but that's what I'm getting. She will be found, though. So, hopefully, real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.